This is, of course, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and many saw today's second inauguration of America's first black president as a step toward fulfilling Dr. King's dream, which was, of course, famously expressed on the opposite side of the National Mall from where President Obama just spoke. The Post's Clinton Yates has been reflecting on the importance of that place and this day.
Even when you grow up in D.C., these buildings, they never get old. No matter how many times you climb these steps, no matter how many times you read these walls, and no matter how many times you stare out at that reflecting pool, you just can't forget the history. It's impossible. I've been lucky enough to be a part of it twice. As a teenager, my father and 3 friends of mine were down here, 2.5 miles due east on the other end of the National Mall for the Million Man March. I'd never seen anything like it. Born and raised in Chocolate City, even I was blown away by the masses of black faces that had gathered on that day. It was empowering, bewildering, educational, and motivating all at once. Part of me wondered if anything would ever come of that. It felt like more than the average rally that happened dozens of times a year in my hometown. It felt historic. I wasn't sure I'd ever see anything like it again. 14 years later, I did.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
Back in 2009, when Barack Obama was sworn in as president, my friends slept right here at the Lincoln Memorial, camped out for hours to be a part of it. I thought they were nuts, but hell, history is history.
Help you God, so help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
It was another completely unforgettable day. A great day to be from DC, a great day to be in DC, and a great day to be an American. Walking around on the streets that day and night, I felt renewed. Like I didn't have to explain myself to anyone anymore just to prove that I was worth listening to. And I imagine when Obama takes that oath on Martin Luther King Day, that some kid in the crowd might have the same feeling. For me, seeing a sea of black men come together peacefully as a youngster in '95 gave me belief in myself. As an adult, seeing a group of Americans come together to do the same thing made me believe in this country again. The man for whom this building is named, Abraham Lincoln, freed the slaves in this city 9 months before the rest of the slaves in this country were emancipated in 1863.
I have a dream that one day,
A century later, Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his I Have a Dream speech right here where I am standing. That march led to the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Now, King has a memorial to himself just down the road. There will be 2 Bibles used at the swearing in. One, once owned by President Lincoln, and another, once owned by Martin Luther King Jr. If it weren't for those 2 men, it's unlikely that Barack Obama would ever be taking a swearing in. And without all 3 of those gentlemen, I wonder where I would be. Who knows? But for right now, I'm right here, and that's a great place to be.
That's all for the Fold special coverage of inauguration. You can find more, including the president's address in its entirety, at WashingtonPost.com. We'll be back tomorrow evening with a regular edition of the Fold. Good night from Washington.